Everyone who tuned in for the second season of Wednesday got a bad feeling when Principal Dort arrived at Nevermore Academy. His school spirit and unending pep contrasted greatly with the dour worldwide view we came to expect from our main character. In a setting filled with mystery and murder around every corner, his smile and friendly demeanor raised a red flag for many. As it turns out, we were right to trust our instincts as Principal Dort used Nevermore Academy to bring in funding for his cult. A collaborative effort between the students outed Dort for his schemes and resulted in his death. With him gone, there's a vacancy at Nevermore that needs to be filled. Today's video is all about the principal role and which characters could step in to lead Nevermore in a new direction. Number 1. Isadora Capri. One of the first things Principal Dort does after his appointment is hire some new staff, including the eccentric and emotional Isadora Capri. A werewolf and prominent musician, she brings some soul to Nevermore Academy, livening up events with music and student engagement. She's a fun character to watch, if not a little aloof. From the beginning, I couldn't help thinking that she had more going on than a dwindling music career. It didn't help that Principal Dort was the one who hired her, and he was suspicious from the first episode. As I watched the second season, I waited for the shoe to drop, anticipating the turn of Capri's character, where she also became a villain. However, she continued to act altruistically throughout the school year and tried to help the students. She wanted Wednesday to join the school orchestra. She told Enid about Enid's roots as an alpha werewolf and volunteered at Willow Hill to perform music for the residents. These are all positive things in my book, and I was nearly willing to turn the other cheek and give her the benefit of the doubt. However, one final twist toward the season's end finally showed us what Capri's actual intentions might be. After Tyler escapes from Willow Hill, Capri approaches him with a new opportunity. She reveals herself as not only a werewolf but also as a Hyde. Sympathetic to their kind, she tells him of a support group where Hydes work together to live without a master's guidance. Assumedly, their goal is to learn how to live peacefully without succumbing to their violent urges. If this is her true intention, then Capri does want the best for every outcast. Given her existing connections at Nevermore and demonstrated interest in helping students reach their full potential, she could be the ideal principal. On a more self-interested note, she could use her position to reinstate Hydes as an outcast group in the school. Number 2. Morticia Addams. Other than Capri, the only other person Principal Dort formally brought on was Morticia Addams, as chair of Nevermore's Gala fundraising committee. Through Bianca's storyline, we learn that many of Dort's motivations have to do with financial gain. His desire for more financial resources to help Nevermore is actually a front to fund his cult, Morning Song. His main plan to gain financial support is to find sponsors for the school, something he accomplishes by contacting notable figures in the outcast community and hosting grand events to earn their favor. One of the figures he seeks approval from is the famous and well-off Hester Frump, the mother of Morticia Addams. Unfortunately for Dort, Hester is a closed book who rarely interacts with individuals outside of her practice. She also has a no-nonsense attitude and doesn't make time for charity cases. To get around this hurdle, Dort brings Morticia on as the chair of the Gala committee. Although she's not an official staff member, her volunteer status allows her to be directly involved with the students and the school events. Her new role will embrace her to be more involved in Wednesday's life and get to know her peers. Moreover, she's a former Nevermore student and is well aware of the Academy's history. Morticia has shown that she's organized, well-intentioned, and can manage a large group. She flourished in her recent role, and becoming the principal might be a natural transition. It could also benefit her personally, as her attempts to reconnect with Wednesday often push them further apart. Now that her daughter is heading north to search for Enid, Morticia taking over Nevermore could ensure she has eyes on her youngest child, preventing him from getting into more trouble. Number 3. Hester Frump. I don't know about you, but I loved the modern twists on Wednesday's versions of the Addams family. When we think of Grandmama, the first image to come to mind is an older woman always hunched over, with wild hair and an undeniable talent for witchcraft. Her appearances throughout the Addams Family franchise rarely deviate, as few creators dare to defy the source material. However, the Grandmama we meet in the series is a cynical businesswoman who demands respect. Like Wednesday, she has a no-nonsense attitude and appreciates the practical things in life. Her views and approach to business helped turn Hester Frump into a celebrity among the outcasts, as her funeral business brought in money and fame. Unfortunately, she and Morticia don't see eye to eye. Hester's approach to life bled into how she raised her children, which aided in Ophelia's desire to conquer her visions. It also pushed Morticia away, creating a divide between mother and child. As an adult, Morticia keeps minimal contact with her mother, albeit while allowing Wednesday and Pugsley to have a relationship with her. After Wednesday loses her visions and Morticia confiscates Goody Adams' book, Wednesday returns to Grandmama for advice. Seeing the pair of them side by side, it's easy to see which family member Wednesday admires most. Although Morticia wants nothing to do with her mother, including asking for her help fundraising for Nevermore, Bianca forces her to contact her estranged mother with her siren song. Bewitched and unable to resist the command, Morticia calls Hester to Nevermore. Hester remains unimpressed, continuing to express her disinterest during her various visits with the rest of the family. As someone with an ironclad approach to everything, Hester might view the principal role at Nevermore as an opportunity. She could ensure the next generation of outcasts stands out against previous graduating classes, including Morticia's. Not to mention, it would give her control of Wednesday and Pugsley's education. Number 4. Coach Vlad. I've already shared my top 3 guesses, so now I'll provide a more reasonable answer. I often forget that Nevermore is a legitimate academy where students go to attend classes and receive an education. The main cast rarely mentions their education, and Wednesday cares more about her murder mysteries than getting a passing grade. We only meet a handful of the academy's faculty throughout the 2 seasons, and the majority of them have since died. At this point, it's hard to understand why an outcast authority hasn't closed down the academy yet, because the casualty count continues to grow by the semester. The number of tragedies at Nevermore should also make it more difficult to find willing teachers. Outcasts or not, few would be willing to risk their lives for the sake of teaching. After the death of Principal Weems and Principal Dort, I can't imagine the Academy's inbox is bursting with willing applicants. Instead, they might need to search for someone on the inside willing to fill the role. Someone who has been instructing at the Academy for an extended period and is familiar with the circumstances surrounding their predecessors is Des. Again, we only know a handful of the faculty at Nevermore. Some teachers have names but have yet to make an appearance on screen. The options for those who could become the principal are limited, but we do know one teacher who has maintained a background presence throughout the 2 seasons, Coach Vlad. Vlad makes his debut in the 1st season, instructing the fencing class during their practice drills. Since then, he has made cameo appearances in various episodes. While he's only stood in the background with other staff members, fans have contrived a potential backstory for him. Due to his name, fans assume he is a vampire. This is due to his name alluding to Vlad the Impaler, who inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula. Of course, it goes without saying that Dracula is one of the most famous vampires in fictional history. While we don't know much about Coach Vlad, it leaves room for the writers to do anything they want with his character, while giving a returning actor their chance to shine. Of course, if the coach isn't the right fit for the principal position, there's no reason another seasoned teacher can't take on the responsibility. It's hard to say who will become the principal now that the students have worked together to unmask Dort's schemes. Nevermore is a little worse for wear given recent events. Despite this, though, the remaining staff should be prepared to take on new students, threats, and the responsibility of ensuring the new principal isn't a villain in disguise. Do you have a favorite pick for the Academy's next principal? Do you have more evidence for someone on this list? As always, we love to read your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.